before you go.
Don't disrespect
No,
me.
no, no, no. Designation card. I want to see his designation card. I want to see his designation card. No, 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 no. You wind your neck in. Off you trot, little piggies.
Welcome to Law and Justices, where we expose police misconduct and hold public officials accountable. Today's footage comes courtesy of Ed. Be sure to check out their channel using the link below and support their work. In this episode, we're outside Trowbridge Police Station, where a journalist with a camera is approached within minutes by officers who quickly begin making demands they have no legal authority to enforce. But this auditor understands something crucial, the law, and what follows is a real-time lesson as the officers begin to realize it too. Let's get straight into it.
What is it?
Any particular reason for filming a police station?
Excuse me. Is that the way you approach a member of the public around here?
Yeah, normally.
Alright, well I'm not going to be speaking to you then. Well, what's going on here?
We're just asking why you're filming.
Because I can. What's your name and number?
First of all...
No, I'm not going to speak to you then. Do you want to identify yourself?
I don't have to identify myself.
Do you want to identify yourself?
You're filming a police station.
Yeah, you identify yourself there. 2541 Jenkins, yeah? Okay, so the reason I'm filming a police station today is because I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were just coming out to see if you needed any assistance.
Not at all. I'm outside the police station. If I needed assistance, I would have gone in.
Okay, no problem. That's fine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
We're just coming out to make sure you're okay.
That's fine. I'm
All
fine.
right.
You're dismissed now.
You don't dismiss me.
I actually do. You're a public servant. I'm a member of the public.
Take a moment to observe how this unfolds. The officers immediately surround the auditor, positioning themselves to control the situation before even speaking. They claim they're simply checking if he needs assistance, but in reality, this is a common tactic, a subtle way to initiate questioning without grounds. However, the auditor doesn't engage on their terms. He asks for identification, and the officer's refusal becomes an instant red flag. According to the College of Policing Code of Ethics, accountability is mandatory, not optional. By refusing to identify himself while questioning the auditor, the officer undermines basic professional standards. Then comes the key moment: you're dismissed. While it may sound confrontational, it's legally accurate. Under Rice versus Connolly, without a suspected crime, there is no lawful detention. The auditor is simply asserting that the officer has no authority to continue the interaction. The officer's reactions say it all: authority challenged, and not backed by law.
What's your name?
I think you're following Crown Service, so you need to get your facts right.
I think we need
Excuse
to
me?
take some details off you. What's your name?
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Well, at the moment you're filming a police station.
What crime do you
okay?
suspect me of committing?
No, listen.
I am listening. What crime?
You're filming a police station.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
And at the moment, for security purposes...
What crime do you suspect me of committing? What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Well, at the moment, you are filming a police station.
And what crime is that?
I don't know what your reasons are.
Sir, we go on what we do know, not what we don't. So what crime do you suspect me of committing? Could you please articulate legislation? If you're not going to articulate legislation, this conversation is over.
Okay, that's fine. If you don't want to talk to us,
Yeah.
that's
So I told you,
But
you are dismissed.
There's obviously you don't need to say that, do you?
Well, I'm
Right,
saying it.
The reason that I'm speaking to you is because you're filming the...
I don't care. You
police
haven't
station.
identified yourself, so I'm not going to speak to you.
PC 2808.
So now you want to identify
Okay.
yourself.
This is where the situation starts to fall apart for the officers. The auditor repeatedly asks a simple but critical question: what crime do you suspect me of committing? The officer struggles to answer, mentioning security concerns and the act of filming, but fails to identify any actual offense. Nothing holds up. Under Pace Code G, police powers must be based on reasonable suspicion tied to a specific crime, not vague concerns or personal discomfort. By failing multiple times to name a crime, the officer effectively admits on camera that there is no legal basis for the interaction. What we're seeing is an attempt to create suspicion where none exists, simply because the officer doesn't like being recorded. This isn't lawful policing, it's overreach.
Your policy says you have to at the beginning, all right?
Right.
Now I'll see your
also-
warrant card
you're
also.
You're also...
Show me your warrant
No,
card.
Hold on a second.
End of conversation.
suspicious.
Not at all. It's
Hang
listen,
on.
you are not even a police constable. I suggest you hush your gums.
Why-
You need to
why-
wind your
why-
neck in.
Oh, I need to wind my neck in?
Yeah.
Okay, so having my neck wound out is a crime, is it?
Why
Yes,
do
it
I
is.
need
Is it? What
to
crime?
Being arrogant and
I'm not being
my colleague
arrogant.
disrespectful
Listen,
you.
and you're not being disrespectful to me right now by running your mouth at me.
How do I
Who
know
do you think you are?
How do I know what you're doing? I don't understand what
You
you're doing.
listen, do you need to know?
At this moment in time, you're suspected for a terrorism offence.
Oh, section 43?
Because
section 43?
you're filming inside.
Is that section 43?
You're filming inside the police
Is that
station.
section 43?
You're filming inside.
Is that section 43?
Stop interrupting me.
I'm asking you,
You're
Constable.
filming
I'm asking you,
inside of a
Constable.
police
I'm not going to
station.
speak to you anymore. Is it section
Why are you-
43?
why are you filming
Is it
a police station
Is it
for?
because I can?
Well, at the moment, like I say, you can't.
Could you, if you want to articulate legal legislation that says I can't, then I will. Let's wind it in. Let's wind it in. I'm going to ask you a specific question. What you just said there in regards to the terrorism, yeah, are you talking about section 43?
I'm talking about somebody.
No. Sections. Legislation, please. Let's talk legislation.
I don't need to talk legislation.
Do you know it? If you're not going to talk legislation, this is over.
When their arguments fail, the officers escalate to terrorism concerns, a tactic often used to pressure compliance. But the auditor is prepared. He references Section 43, fully aware that it requires genuine suspicion that a person is a terrorist, not just acting suspicious. That distinction is critical. The officer's claim that he doesn't need to cite legislation is particularly alarming. In UK law, police powers are entirely rooted in legislation. If an officer cannot clearly state the legal basis for their actions, then those actions have no foundation. Attempting to invoke national security without justification becomes nothing more than an empty threat, a legally baseless bluff.
I'm asking you why you're filming a
And
police
I'm
station.
not. If you articulate a crime which says that I am at liberty to give you that, listen, you just asked me a question.
For the camera, this gentleman is pointing a camera into a police station.
Yeah.
Okay.
So?
There's obviously cause for concern.
What
for
cause
that.
for concern?
Well, because of the security.
Articulate
of the police
crime. No,
station.
listen.
No,
Articulate a crime to me. What?
in
From
the
who?
station.
From who?
From all kinds of
From who?
things. Any
What are you talking
suspicious
about? Be specific.
behaviour.
I'm being specific with
Anything
you.
that looks out of place. That's
What's
how we
what's
work.
out of place?
A person that.
All right, so I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'll tell you what I'm doing.
Inside
I'll tell you
the
what I'm doing.
compound.
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm making a story. I'm an investigative journalist, and I'm gathering content for a story. Okay, there's my reason.
And that's what we're trying to find out.
Yeah, we just told you. I didn't have to tell you,
Yeah.
but I did.
So that's what I'm asking.
No.
I'm not threatening you or
Yeah,
anything.
but
like that, the way
but
you're
listen,
talking
no,
is that we were threatening you.
because you're doing exactly what thousands of police officers do in this country. Okay, you come up to somebody expecting them not to know the law, and you start throwing accusations and shit like that around at them.
That you didn't know
Yes,
the
you did.
law.
You came out.
You're assuming. You're assuming that
Man,
I'm.
you.
thinking that
I've got,
you're
what
an
is your
idiot, and I'm
issue?
not saying
But then
that.
why won't you let me finish speaking?
Because you're not allowed to speak.
You weren't.
I don't have to let you
We
speak.
were
We don't
asking.
have to let you speak.
But then go away. Go back in and do some actual police work.
As a journalist, surely you should know by asking a
just
question,
listen.
you should get an answer.
Do you suspect me of a crime?
Well, at the moment,
Could you answer yes or no?
I'm a bit concerned as to why you're pointing a camera.
Is
into a police
concern a
station.
crime, sir?
What?
Do you suspect me of a?
like I s-
Do you suspect me of a crime?
Like I say, I'm trying to find out from you
Do
why
you,
you're pointing a camera.
do
into a
you
police
suspect
station.
me of a crime?
Well, at the moment, it's a bit suspicious that you're pointing a camera.
Is
into a police
suspicion a
station.
is suspicion a crime?
No, it's an inquiry.
Okay,
that
no,
will
okay,
carry
no,
out.
no. I don't need the cops explaining bit. Let's talk facts. Is suspicion a crime?
Well, no, not.
No, okay, stop then.
This is the turning point. The auditor asks, is suspicion a crime? The officer is forced to admit that it isn't. And that admission dismantles the entire encounter. In a free society, appearing suspicious is not illegal. Suspicion must be grounded in objective facts tied to a real offense. Simply filming in public does not meet that standard. As a last resort, the officers hint at public order concerns, but even that falls flat. Being dismissive or telling officers to leave does not meet the legal threshold for harassment, alarm, or distress. Ultimately, the officers disengage, not because they choose to, but because they have no lawful authority to continue. They entered expecting compliance, but leave having exposed their lack of legal footing.
Okay, stop then. Okay, just yes, you do. But do you suspect? Do you suspect? Do you suspect I'm about to commit a crime?
You can.
Do you? But if you don't know, why are you here speaking to me? Because
don't know if
it's
you're
policing by
committing a crime.
consent, isn't it? Is it not policing
Yeah.
by consent?
I-
Okay, so when I'm asking you questions to try to understand why you're accosting me and you refuse to answer the
not-
question,
I'm not
you are.
accosting
You are because
What
I'm
was
just a
accosting
normal
you?
member of the public. Yes.
But you're just trying to get.
No, I'm
Who are
not.
you?
I'm not.
No, just let me speak.
I don't care what you have to say.
Okay,
How about
that's
that?
fine.
Jog on.
That's-
Off your trot.
Don't-
There's snout going on
being
around
rude
here.
now.
Is rudeness a crime?
Yourself look silly
No,
because
but
you're
Is rudeness
trying-
a crime?
you're being rude
Public
to us.
order
We
is.
don't have
Huh?
to engage
Public
with you.
order
so just
is.
work.
Yeah, public order. But am I using excessive words or
No,
behaviour? So then don't listen. You don't even know what. Before you go,
Don't disrespect
No,
him.
no. Designation card. I want to see his designation card.
Enough.
I want to see his designation
Wind your
card.
neck in and get off.
No, 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 no. You wind your neck in, off you trot, little piggies.
There's no need to be rude.
Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig. Pigs. Bullies. Bullies. Bullies.
What we've just witnessed in Trowbridge is a clear example of how knowledge of the law can hold authority accountable. The officers attempted to use serious allegations, including terrorism, to stop a man lawfully standing in public. It didn't work. When policing is driven by ego rather than evidence, it risks becoming oppressive rather than protective. If you believe situations like this highlight the need for better training, let your voice be heard in the comments. But more importantly, understand this, the outcome here depended entirely on the auditor knowing his rights. Would you know what to say in the same situation? Many wouldn't, and that's exactly what authorities often rely on. Don't fall for legal intimidation. Educate yourself. I've created a simple, easy-to-understand guide covering stop and search laws, filming rights, and more. Check the link in the description to get your copy. Knowledge is power, and I'll see you in the next video.